Welcome guys to Crazy for Christ Ministries. I'm Jacoby Smith, and today is a wonderful Tuesday afternoon, a blessed day. How are y'all doing? And today I'm going to be talking about the 10 Commandments and breaking them down. Like, just giving y'all a closer look at the 10 Commandments and breaking the 10 Commandments down to where y'all understand. The 10 Commandments was something that God gave us, and we are supposed to follow. We're supposed to obey the commandments. If you break one commandment, that's like breaking all. Because like if you like just one command, like the commandments is what God gave us. If you don't follow the commandments, then you won't make it into heaven. You won't. That's just bottom line. So you can find the commandments in two places, as I did as I read through the Bible today. You can find them in Exodus 20 verse 1 through 17, Deuteronomy 5 verse 6 through 21. You can find them in either of those chapters, and it basically says the same thing in both. Well, it does, but I'm gonna be reading the one from Deuteronomy. It doesn't make a difference which one I read from, but and I'm just gonna break them down simple for y'all, so one at a time. All right. So verse 7 says, "Thou shalt not have no other gods before me." What that means, "Thou shalt not have no other gods before me," is that, he's not saying gods like gods, the sun god, like all that Egyptian god stuff. He's talking about like your phone, your device, your electronics, anything that you love to do, but you put God second, and God's supposed to be put first. Like, you don't take time out to read the Bible or do none of that. You just do this 24/7, and you don't give God his time that is ordained. Verse 8 says, "Thou shalt not make thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth." What he's saying, like, pictures, we do not know how God's face look. And the people who show the faces and stuff, and the people that show, like, the people that have God and how he has a face with long hair and white, we don't know. We don't know if that's true. That's what God is meaning by a graven image. We don't know if that is God. We don't know what God looks like. Anybody who has a real dream and seeing God that I know of, that I look up on YouTube and see, he has a bright light, so you never know how his face look. But the people that make it into heaven will be the ones to see God's face, and standing in front of Jesus and seeing his face, the creator, the one who made you, who knows every thought of what you're gonna do in 10 years or tomorrow, even 3 seconds from now, is great. That's going to be great. Now, verse 9 says, "Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me." Now, what God is saying is that the graven image, he's talking about the graven image in this one that was talked about in verse 8. He's saying that when he says, "Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them," he's saying, do not serve no other gods. Because if you serve other gods, you will go to hell. Not most likely, you will go to hell. And that's just a big sin, to serve other gods when there's only one God, and that's above, and his name is Jesus. That's bad. Verse 10 says, "And shewing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments." When he says "and showing mercy," he's saying showing mercy unto those that keep unto thousands of them that love him and keep his commandments. Verse 11 says, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltiness that taketh his name in vain. What that means is that do not use God's name in vain, like how the people, like I used to say it before all of this, like back then, like months ago or last year. I used to say on God, that phrase on God. I used to say that, but I thought I stopped saying it because that what I think is that using God's name in vain, and I just can't say it no more. I just don't say it no more. Verse 12 says, keep the Sabbath day to sanctify it, as the Lord thy God has commanded thee. And the Sabbath day is a day where you not supposed to like work, do labor or nothing on that day. You're supposed to rest. That's what the Sabbath day is. And just, you can read over the word of God, but what God says about the Sabbath day is to keep it holy. That's what he says. In verse 13 says, 6 days thou shalt labor and do all thy work. Them 6 days you do the labor and do the work, but on the Sabbath day, which is the seventh day, you shall rest, do no labor, and just keep the Sabbath day holy. Now, verse 14 is what I was just talking about the 7th day. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God, and it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thine ox, nor thine ass, nor thy any cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates, that thy manservant and thy maidservant may rest as well as thou. See? You see? Like what he's saying, nor thy daughter, nor son, nor maidservant, nor manservant, they shall not do any work either. Like the maids and manservants, they shall not do no work. No one shall do work on the Sabbath day, and keep the Sabbath day holy. Now, verse 15 says, and remember that thou wast a servant in the land of Egypt, and that the Lord thy God brought out thence through a mighty hand and by a stretched out arm. Therefore the Lord thy God commanded thee to keep the Sabbath day. Verse 16 says, honor thy father and thy mother as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee, and the days may be prolonged, and it may go well with thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Now, verse 16, when it says honor thy father and thy mother, that means be obedient. When they tell you to do something, you do it. Be obedient to thy father and thy mother. And when it says, as the Lord thy God had commanded thee, that thy days may be prolonged. If you disobey, your days are shortened. Your days are shortened. And the wages of sin is death. As it says in the Bible, the wages of sin is death. And as it says, it may go well with thee in the land of which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Now, verse 17, thou shalt not kill. You know what that is. Thou shalt not murder, Verse 18, neither thou shalt not commit adultery. If you don't know what adultery is, that is cheating. Like if you're married and you cheat and stuff. Like if I have a girlfriend now, I would still abide by that rule about not committing adultery. And I'm not like I would not commit adultery. I would not cheat on my girlfriend. I wouldn't even if my girlfriend want to have sex, I would not do that, because in the Bible it says about premature sex, and you can go to hell for that. That is a sin, because you're supposed to have it when you're married. Now, neither shall thou steal. Like I know people at my school who steal, and I don't partake in it. They're not my friends. Like they're my friends, but like I had to separate myself from them. We talk every now and then, but I had to separate myself from that, because I couldn't allow myself to get mixed up with all that and go back to the old person I was. I just couldn't do it. Now, in verse 20 says, neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbor. What that means is lie on thy neighbor. That means not to lie on people. Bear false witness is like, oh yeah, I seen them do this, I seen them do that, which is not true. Lying on other people. Verse 21 says, neither shalt thou desire thy neighbor's wife, neither shalt thou covet thy neighbor's house, his field, or his manservant, or his maidservant, his ox, or his ass, or anything that is thy neighbor's. Like, when he says that, thou shalt not envy thy neighbor's things. If you don't know what envy is, that is like, man, I wish I had that. Man, I want to be just like that. Ooh, I want that. I want that just like him. That's envying. That's what that is. Now, the last verse is verse 22. These words the Lord spake unto all your assembly in the mount of the midst of the fire of the cloud of the thick darkness with the great voice, and he added no more. So that was the last commandment that I read, and there's no more. And he wrote in 2 tablets of stone and delivered them unto me. That's all I have today for you guys. That I will be here Friday to give you another video. And I will y'all have a blessed, wonderful day in the week. And I will see y'all on Friday. God bless you all, brothers and sisters. Have a wonderful Tuesday. In Jesus' name.